In this tutorial I'm going to show you how to use the FantomX's auto chop feature, and this is where you can take an imported drum loop and automatically chop up the drum sounds in the loop into individual samples, and therefore you can create a drum kit out of a drum loop simply by just chopping those up. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to select that imported drum sample, press sample edit, and we'll have a preview of the entire loop. And then we're going to click the F3 button to go to sample modify and choose F6 for chop. And here, if you wanted to, you could easily manually chop up this by setting different points. But what we're going to do is we're going to choose the auto chop feature, which is on F6, and it asks me which level or the chop type. You can set this to be either a beat, or you can set it to be a level, and if you set it to level, it's mainly just looking for the levels and amplitude there to chop that up. We can go ahead and just leave that there. And now press F8 to execute. And the next thing that it does there is it assigns each one of these chops to a different pad. And what it's actually doing before it chops it up is it creates these individual time instances or slices of different endpoints and beginning points in the sample. Now the next step is, once you have these created, you can go ahead and exit from here if you just want to play from this point, or you can press F8 to execute, and that's going to actually chop up each one of these individual slices into a different sample. So go ahead and press F8 to execute. Then it asks you if you want to assign this to a rhythm kit. If you want to, you can press F8 here and then just toggle down and assign it to a kit temporarily. So now you have all those sounds from that drum sample or previous loop there assigned to the pads. Let's go back to the sample list just for a second, and I want to show you that it's actually chopped up each individual portion of that drum loop and created another wave. So these would be all stored separately if you were going to go ahead and do a save operation of this. The original one is still there intact. This is the first one. You can see it there. I want to go ahead and show you another way to chop this up. Let's go select this wave again and press sample edit, and this time press sample modify and F6 for the chop command again, and press F6 again for auto chop. And this time, instead of selecting level, I want to select the beat, and I'm going to choose the beat to be at a 16th note, and I'm going to press execute, and now you can see it just evenly chopped up the sample 16 times on the beat. Sometimes the beat will have a little bit of swing to it, so that's not as effective, so you might not use it that way. Let me go ahead and cancel back out of this. Let me show you another way. We're going to press the F3 button again to go to sample modify. This time we're going to go to chop, and this time instead of beat we're going to simply press divide X. And 16 is the maximum numbers of times that you can divide this by, so if your beat is more than a couple measures long, you're not going to get as an effective of a chop. You can see right here this drum loop is, I think it's around 8 bars long, so we can go ahead and chop this up, still 16 bars, and take a look at it here, and you see that it's actually putting in a couple different drum parts within some of these slices. You can see that one right there, number 5, has 2 drum sounds in there. So depending on your usage and how you're going to chop these up, you will basically go off of that, determining how you would want to chop this up. What I would probably do is go ahead and do some manual points on this, because the beat has so many different percussion sounds. A lot of beats that you import will have some ambient sounds along with them, such such as maybe from like another instrument or some organ sounds or something like that. And anytime that there's not as much silence in between the beats, your FantomX is also going to have a really hard time automatically chopping up that beat.